shit. So this is kind of a way where I'm like, I don't know, call it like paying back or whatever, but this to me is like, I just feel it's in my calling. You know, I got mine, and it was fucking great, and I will never forget it, and it's given me everything in this life. And now it's time to see that other people get theirs, because I don't know, it's an amazing feeling when people do it. Like I understand why Harvey Weinstein, aside from the business aspect of things and making money and shit, why he went into it, man. It's why he connects with filmmakers the way he does and did over the years. Harvey Weinstein, when they first pick up Clerks, sitting down with him, he's talking to me, and I barely knew the guy and shit. He was talking about movie making, and he said shit that like stays with me even to this day. The thing that impacted the most, he said, movie doesn't begin and end once they get in the theater and the lights go down. He's going, if you're really good at your job, the movie begins long before they get to the theater. And if you're really magical at your job, you got them long after they leave. The movie's still going. And I don't know if it was just bullshit or some hype to say. Maybe it was just because he was who he was and I was like a total neophyte filmmaker, but I bought that as religion. I was like, that's what we need to do, all of us, right? You know, he was like, it's just you and me here. And it stayed with me, and that's one of those things that I just wanted to that's what I've tried to do my whole career. The movie begins long before you get in the room, and the movie continues long after you're gone. Like, the movie has almost become irrelevant to my career, and that's why it's easy to put it down. I mean, think about it. Last 2 years, I've made more just standing on a stage with a microphone talking about being a director than I actually have as a director. I'm doing this more than I'm doing the other thing, and it's far more natural, far more comfortable. And the thing is, the conversation's not even predicated on the movies anymore. This one is, because we all come out to see it and shit. But like all the other Q&A gigs I've been doing for the last 2 years, we don't even talk about the movies that much anymore. We talk about fucking shit like Shecky, you know, and Jan. It's just a different world. Like, slowly we built a Smodcast universe, a Smuniverse, if you will, and populated it with friends and talented people. Like, all those movies I made in the past were literally just like me going, these are kind of, the life of me and my friends with the names changed to protect the innocent and the guilty alike kind of thing. And you know, you gotta be more creative and add shit to it and whatnot. But all those characters were kind of based on everybody that I knew and shit. And now that the View Askew universe is done, to me it just makes more sense to be like, okay, here are all the people that all those stories were based on, and now you can just hear from them yourselves, right from their mouth and shit. And I don't know, that's where I feel like I need to be. I keep wanting to give people voices for some reason. Got all my friends doing podcasts and shit, and now I just want to see other people release their movies. I think I'm in a facilitation mode at this point. After 20 years of having shit done for me and all my dreams come true, I think my next fucking cycle is all about facilitating for others and making maybe their dreams come true. That's kind of what I feel right now. So what did you ask to begin with? I forget.
You had answered my question.
Okay, thank God.
I'd love to shake your hand, sir.
Oh, yeah, come on up, man. Yes. Oh, you got a Cooper Zell shirt on, man. Nice. Fucking 5 Points Trinity Church. I like it.
I've been blessed to see Red State twice. We were at the Chicago show. It was a different crowd altogether.
Yeah. They were really peaceful. I was surprised by that.
My question is, and this is something that's stuck with me with both movies, and one of the reasons why I wanted to come back. Betty Adlerman. Mm-hmm. You've used her, Jersey Girl, Dogma. I grew up with her as a child, Lady Adlerman, Mr. Rogers. And I know there's a story behind this. How hard was it to get Betty Adlerman to give the cocksuckers line before she blasted away? That traumatized me.
It was, thank you. Yeah, that was one of my, when you're making flicks, at a certain point you start building in dopey little goals for yourself. One of the goals I had for myself with this movie is I wanted to finish the entire edit by the time we were done with the movie. Like, I wanted to be able to show the completed, edited film at the wrap party, which we were able to accomplish. One of the other things, you set up tiny little goals for yourself, little hills to climb, so you can feel like, I've succeeded. One of them I had was getting Betty Aberlin to say cocksucker. Because if you know Betty Aberlin, she is not the cocksucker type. She is a sweet, amazing human being who's full of art, positivity, encouragement, love. There's no negativity in Betty Aberlin. Like, it's almost like she is Lady Aberlin from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. She's very, almost ethereal in her nature and whatnot. Wonderful, wonderful woman. that I desperately wanted to hear say cocksucker. So, we're doing the sequence where we're firing the guns and shit, and she did it a few times. One, she watched the one take, she didn't like it because the gun has a lot of kick to it, and she didn't like what it did to her face because it had a little ripple effect, and she was like, oh, don't use that. And I was like, don't worry, I won't. I said, but we do one more where you look bad. I said, just don't put your head down, keep it up. I said, on this one, when you're done firing, just drop that fucking gun, yell out, cocksuckers, and then we're gonna shoot you. And she goes, oh, I can't do that. I was like, Betty, I swear to God, man, you do it, it's gonna kill. She's like, I can't, I don't know. The movie doesn't feel like that movie. And I was like, at this point in the movie, it is that movie, man. Trust me. And she was just like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, go do one more take, regular take, and we'll kick that to the side. And she went out and did one more take, it was great. And she came back and she was like, you want me to curse, don't you? And I was like, so much. And she was like, oh, okay, but I'm not going to be big about it. And I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. Because she also had the two prosthetics that had to blow as well, the squibs. So she's sitting there, we got the camera on her and shit, and she fucking does what she did in the movie. Like, she drops the gun and she's like, she said she was going to say it rather quietly, and instead she's like, cocksucker! Then they blow her apart and shit. And so afterwards, she came back to watch it, and to the monitor, and everyone was dying, slapping her on the back and shit. She was like, what, is that a good thing? And I was like, just watch. And we showed it to her, and her first reaction, it was so precious. She watching her on the screen, she goes, cocksuckers! Betty goes, oh. So it was sweet, man. She did fight me a little bit, not bad, but she was just like that. I don't know if that'll work, but I was like, trust me, it'll work. Nothing's funnier than Lady Avril and yelling, cocksuckers! Unless she was yelling at a King Friday or something. So she did, she pulled through. She was great. She's our little good luck charm. We like to think of her as our Cliff Clavin or John Ratzenberger in the Pixar movies. He's always got like a little small role somewhere or something like that, or a big role. And that's what Betty is to us. Thanks, man.
Last question.
Last question?
Oh, shit.
I know, but it's a lot of pressure, man.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have a lot of pressure because I'm a big fan. I'm going to try to pass out anyway. What was my question? I have two.
Okay.
The second one's short. The
Okay.
first one is Tweet the Leaf.
I'm coming to join you, man.
Oh my.
You get through this, because you're obviously having some troubles. We can get through this, bro. It's gonna be good. You feeling okay now? Just look at me, don't look at those people.
Michael Parks.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive, but Oscar promotion. Try to get him Oscar for this. I think he deserves it.
No. Here's my. Look, yeah, he deserves an Oscar, but I don't care about that stuff. I don't know if he does either, to be honest with you. And it's like, who needs that kind of validation? I'd much rather have the validation of people in this room, which we did tonight. And I'll go back and tell them they loved you and fucking. And he'll be like, that's great. That's good to know. He's not one of those dudes that's just like, he's not a tin whore. He's not looking for a bunch of plaudits and awards. He's the real fucking deal, man. That dude is so serious as an actor. Not serious in a dry way, but just like, it is his art and shit. Like, he believes in the art of his craft, and he got into, like, he's a legendary figure. Dude got into fights with studio heads and shit, got blacklisted because of it. But he came on board, man, and he was so game. Like, you don't direct a guy like Michael Parks, right? He's forgotten more about acting than I'll ever fucking know. So you just kind of stand out of the way and let him go, and every once in a while just push him or gently poke him in a direction. Not just like, go over there, man, but just like, hey, man, maybe try that one word like this. He's like, all right, let me give it a shot. But an amazing thing happened with him. As you can see in the movie, he sings quite a bit. And that wasn't really in the script. There's one moment in the script where they talked about, hymnal. I mentioned, like, at one point when Caleb was killed, they were just kind of singing like church hymnal of some sort. So Michael was like, hey, man, are you going to shoot that part where I sing the hymnal? And I was like, well, I didn't, did it say you sing the hymnal? And he's like, no, but I'll sing it. And I was like, okay, yeah, totally. Because he had sung before. He'd had a few albums out in the late 60s